Unanimous for Adelaide.
Bruce?
I think Carlton will win. Wren to take Caverton on. Start of the game at Princess Park. Big match for both. Wren didn't get a look at him. Caverton's big thump. Ratton, tackle wasn't strong enough. Gleeson to go for goal in the opening seconds. A wobbly one. Oh, nearly a great mark taken there by Welsh. Round the body, a behind. So a smart approach by the Blues. The tackle wasn't strong enough in the centre.
I just thought also, Bruce, that Sean Wren was standing much too far back at that centre square bounce.
Maynard to Benhart, the 17-year-old, who's made such an impression this year. Bickley round his body to centre wing. Brown was being held onto. Dorotich is there with Caverton and Hannah. Caverton again. High drop punt to centre half forward. It should be a Crow mark. Hart sets himself, and the hero from last week after kicking that goal takes the mark at half back.
Daryl Hart swings it wide. He's looking for David Marshall, and the veteran takes it well. Goes onto the left foot. He's kicking the ball long, looking for Micken. Micken brings the ball to the ground, but it's Elvin who comes through. A big pack of players, and the umpire surely will call a ball up.
There's Micken playing at centre half forward on John Dorotich. He started off well last week. Micken took a couple of very good marks in that first quarter.
Umpire David Howlett with the ball. Appears that Bickley's got the job on Bradley. Caverton and Micken. Bit of a non-event. Liptak, who was good last week, kicks the ball off the ground. Dorotich gets pushed out, and Elvin gets a quick kick. That's an excellent mark to Maynard. Took that ball low to the ground in front of Spalding, and whilst he's a little bit undersized, is a good performer at centre half back.
Centre half forward, Caverton, great lead, excellent mark.
I think we saw there, Bruce, why he's been preferred to Justin Madden with his marking around the ground, Caverton.
Hannah was put under some pressure though. Here's Brown, who's been excellent this year. Left foot Maynard comfortably. Maynard and Lee, the two men that have played in each of Adelaide's matches in the 2 seasons they've been around. Marshall cleverly to McDermott. The captain goes bang to centre half forward. Not a bad kick. Gives Murphy a chance. Dean goes with a fly. Well read by Schwert. Unable to get away with it. Dean and Schwert. Schwert did a good job. Murphy over the top with the tackling fierce. Dean got a little kick away. Schwert's kicked towards the goal. Out of play. But Bernie, Adelaide has started well here. They're very competitive.
Yes, and Tommy Elvin took a long time to get up there. The trainer going out to speak to him now. He appears to be okay, but Adelaide certainly with the momentum, as Gerard said, after that excellent win last week against Hawthorn.
Deep in the Crows' forward pocket. Micken gets the tap. He hits it towards the centre. Gleeson now gets the handball out to the running Aythorne. Aythorne goes long down the corridor. Big punch from behind by Hart. Daryl Hart that time gets the handball, comes to the tall young ruckman in Wren, and a kick from McDermott finds Micken. And Micken's starting to cause a few problems for Carlton. A little bit too tall and mobile at the moment. He finds Jarman, although Jarman has dropped that one, a poor attempt. Comes to Swert. It is actually Swert with the job on Bradley, so he's doing well. He finds Jarman now. Star last week. And well, he's hit the woodwork. A solitary point for the first score this afternoon.
That one would have been valuable. Adelaide starting very well. Jarman should have taken possibly that first mark, but well, nearly made amends, but he just missed that one, hitting the post.
Dean Aythorne Dean into Ulio. Couldn't take it. Ratton's left foot. Maynard and Sporting. Oh, well played. Maynard. Handball to Bickley, who runs and kicks it to Brown, who's got Hart running if he sees him. Goes inside, just as effective. Not a bad kick. Ingerson used his body illegally, apparently, against Dean, and a free kick to the veteran, who quickly gives it to Hannah. Williams is running for him. Hannah with a poor bounce. Then a drop punt, which found Jarman beautifully. McDermott, Adelaide finessing. Schwert short. Hart, there are loose players everywhere. Brown short. Decides to go in even shorter and gets Murphy, who can kick a goal.
Well, he could have gone to either Ingerson or Murphy. A couple of players alone on that forward line for Adelaide. Carlton a little bit disorganised in defence at the moment, under siege from a very keen Adelaide side.
He's kicked 8 goals in his 3 matches to date, Murphy, including 1 haul of 5, so he can kick a footy. He's 48 metres out, drop punt. He's kicked it all right for distance, off target though. And I reckon you summed it up perfectly there, Bernie. Keen. ferocious on it at the moment, Adelaide. 2 points to 1.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And of course, it's a game of emotion, football, and Adelaide certainly built up for this one. Of course, they do want to stay in touch with the top 6, and they need to win this match.
Long kick from Doherty. He was looking for Hannah, but Brown has chipped in. David Brown, number 21. Looks a little bit like the number 20 for Carlton in Bradley. Long kick into the forward line. It's all Carlton here. And now comes Peter Dean. We see the strapping on his left elbow. Quick kick round the corner from Fraser Brown. And here's Williams with his first possession. He's playing wide of Jarman, and Jarman on top at the moment early in the piece. Smart pushed out of it, possibly a free kick. Maynard onto Bickley. Hart ignores Wren and goes to the centre of the ground where he finds Liptak. Well run from Smart coming down. Plenty of run from the Crows side at the moment. Long driving kick from McDermott. And Ingerson taps the ball. Brown again for his second kick in a minute. And the ball just on the boundary line, but kept in by Aythorne. Aythorne across goal, down to the centre. And he finds Delulio, the swooper. He goes long and finds Spalding. Good long mark from Spalding with a long hand. Spalding balks. Goes long at goals, but good smother there from Wren. Swert dropping back to 8. Gives support. Tasker comes through. Pressure is on and red hot at the moment. Round the corner is Welsh. Kicked 84 goals in the VFA last year, but that one not to be. The 17-year-old taps the ball in front of him. Can't pick it up though. He's got plenty of time. Will swing down centre wing.
To Marshall. Neat drop punt. Mickeney's target against Dorotich. Oh, good mark by the man who won the best and fairest last year. Plays on. He had Jarman, decided against it. Probably went the wrong way in the end. Dean made a mistake. Murphy capitalises from 50 metres. A good kick to the square. Oh, but very well read by Sexton. It was an excellent kick by Murphy, wasn't it?
It was, but Bruce, he caught it right in that first instance because he could have centred the ball there, marked Micken, and Jarman alone in the centre.
Sexton with a booming kick into the centre square. Ratton the fly, and he takes the mark. Swings a handball very wide. Cavan sells a dummy and then goes to centre half forward. Wren should take it. Plays this defensive role very well, the young man. He's a most exciting prospect.
Great prospect, Bruce. He's been fantastic in the ruck. Tremendous last week in that last quarter.
Well, from the old to the, from the new to the old, I should say. Wren to Micken to Darryl Hart, who I reckon's had more kicks in this match so far than he had in a lot of full games earlier on. Drop punt to the square. Ingerson at the back. Sexton in the front.
He's been caught behind a couple of times, Ingerson. They're not getting full value for the good play up on that forward line, the Crows.
Well, loose men here for Carlton. Sexton's kick finds Williams, who's starting to come into it. He gives it off to Gleeson. And an excellent kick finds, well, it's the new boy in Parker. Brendan Parker swings it back to Williams. He goes long. He's looking for Kernahan, who's swamped by Wren. And we saw Wren do a similar job against Carlton in the Foster's Cup game in Adelaide earlier in the season. It's not surprising to see Kernahan start at full forward. Up the middle. It's Maynard. A little bit undersized, but always gives his all and has played every game for the Crows since their inception. Tom Melvin at the bottom of the pack. Comes to Hannah. Hannah's been in excellent form this year. Cavan under pressure. Good tackling from Jarman. And away he goes again. It's a short chip kick and he's found Ingerson.
They're bringing it back, Jared, because play wasn't continuous there. Advantage only played as we learnt last week, Bruce, if the play is continuous, explained by the umpires.
Well, it was the chip kick favoured again, but Carlton take the ball away. Hogg, who's been a fine player for Carlton after being drafted this year, finds Earl Spalding. And speaking of draft choices, Bruce, this man must be the best one in a number of years.
Swings the handball inside to Hogg again. Hogg with a centering kick and a very good kick to half forward. Pressure from the back by Tasker on Welsh was good. Marshall worried out of it by Brown. Brown still over the footy, free kick. Had to be.
He's been very good on the wing. Fraser Brown for Carlton. He was considered for state selection.
Drop punt, not a good one. Tasker takes it comfortably against Welsh. The target was Parker that time. So Tasker from the back pocket. Micken and Dorotich go together. Micken did well to keep the ball down. Hogg caught, well played Jarman with some strength to Marshall, who balances up and then kicks it to Ingerson superbly.
Well, that's better from Ingerson, out in front on the lead. He has been caught behind, as I said, on a couple of occasions. This time we'll be shooting for goal from about 40 metres out.
This is another Adelaide player who's played each game this season. Doesn't get a lot of kicks, but comes up with 1 or 2 most weeks. That's a good kick right there, and Dean forces it over in the end for a behind. So still not a goal scored here at Princes Park. Adelaide lead by 3-1.
And really, it didn't cover much distance, that kick, from inside the 50-metre mark. Probably kicked from about 44 metres and wasn't able to make the distance.
Gleeson takes a diving mark. He's only kicked 6 goals, and for a rover, that's not a big enough return. This is going to be one of the battles of the Dome. Williams and Jarman, 2 of the best handball exponents ever to have played the game, both wearing number 2. Now, let's hope they play side by side, because wouldn't that be a fantastic battle?
Well, it looks as if they have lined up that way, Jared, to minding each other.
Williams, he combining all well with Kernan early in the piece. Every time Kernan gets the ball, he has 3 players on him. Spalding shows extraordinary skills. Balking, evasive skills, but unfortunately kicking skills left a lot to be desired out in the full.
Well, how many times do we see that from Big Earl Spalding? Had a chance to win the game here against the West Coast Eagles and kick 5 behinds for the day.
Well, probably the best mark in the AFL. Kernahan pulls down a big one, and it's an excellent kick. Finds young Brendan Parker. Parker dives and takes a good mark low to the ground.
Yes, did he hold this long enough, Jared? We'll have a look at it. There it just fumbles out. Yeah, probably held it long enough, just.
Boy from Tongala, the Goulburn Valley League. Well, that's an excellent kick and a good goal. So Carlton get the first goal for the afternoon. They lead 7 points to 3.
Yes, well, that was an excellent kick from Parker. That's his first goal in AFL football. There we see Kernahan. He has lined up at full forward, but moved out there to contest in that mark. There's that mark taken by Parker. Fairly tight angle here. And that's his first goal, as I said, in AFL football.
The Blues by 4 points at Princes Park after Parker's debut goal. Pretty tough in the trenches there. Tapped out by Hogg. Adelaide go forward. Hart getting the ball. Torpedo punt. Dean takes the mark comfortably. Dean and Sexton will be a thorn for Adelaide today. Miserly, they give little away except kick it straight to Marshall on that occasion. Marshall, who dislocated his shoulder last year after coming into the AFL with a big bang. Ingerson in the front, well read by Brown. Can go for goal here. Drop punt, good kick. He's given it a ride. Well played, Hannah. Right on the line. Swings it to Cavidan. It's got to come back. Got to kick over the mark, or...
Yes, you've got to go back and kick over the mark. Does seem a little bit strange, however, Bruce, doesn't it, that decision?
Just having a look, Matthew Hogg has the job on Tony McGuinness, a former teammate, of course. Both played at Footscray.
McGuinness yet to touch the ball, Bernie.
It's been very quiet. Matty Hogg can do a tagging job very well.
So Hannah wide, Murphy in the front spot, Cavidan at the back, Andrew Jarman doing all right. Schwert goes backwards to McDermott. McDermott's high drop punt. Ingerson at the back, Dean in the front. And Dorotic was waiting, and so was Alvin. Now Sexton, under pressure from Lee. Hannah sidesteps, handball to nobody. Brown should go, left foot, goes for it and kicks it. Adelaide in front. 1-3-1-1, and a nothing handball from Hannah, and really it deserved the fate that it got.
Yes, exactly, Bruce. It was a very ordinary hand pass. Indecision by Milt Hannah, who played for Victoria in the State of Origin game against WA. And there he goes. Really, there just wasn't a Carlton player there. It's hard to understand why he would go for that option. It wasn't even a defensive option. He should have come to the boundary line, if anything.
The ball up. Cavidan been trained to jump early, and he gets the big tap away there. Darryl Hart crumbs it well. Handball to Ben Hart. Ben Hart goes wide. But it's Hannah who leads Scott Lee and kicks it round the corner. Ratton backs into the pack with courage. But speaking of courage, here comes McDermott through the pack. McGuinness for his first touch for the afternoon. He finds McDermott. McDermott back to Hart. Poor kick from Hart from the 17-year-old. Gleeson, excellent tackle there from Swert. Isn't he a goer? Ratton round the corner. It's Wren once again, though. Takes a courageous mark back with a flight of play.
I think he's got 50 metres there against Kernahan. I think Kernahan was committed and had to do that. I think that's a pretty tough decision, Jared.
Yes, it was one of those line ballers, I think, Bernie, and perhaps that's the problem with the 50-metre penalty.
I think in the end what made the umpire's mind up was the fact that Kernahan did not go for the ball. He was only committed to bumping Wren very heavily.
Well, it's Ingleson with the fly, comes to the front of the pack. Liptak goes to Lee. Lee round the corner, miraculous goal. So Adelaide hit the front. It's 2 goals, 3-15. They lead Carlton by 8 points.
Yes, he did start the season as a specialist back pocket player, Scott Lee, but has been on the forward line the last few weeks. As we see this very good snap on the left boot. His 6th goal for 1992. He did have a stint at Hawthorn and was eventually recruited from Central Districts. He's played all games in 92.
15-7. 1-1-2-3. This is a great start for Adelaide. Free kick out of the centre. Wren to take it. Too many Carlton players in the square. Drop punt. Got some distance. Again, Ingerson the target. Sexton at the back. Gee, Swert read it well. Left foot right there. Murphy over his head and through for a behind. Swert has been excellent. Tregenza's injured at the moment, but it's giving Adelaide something, isn't he, Bernie?
Already a change for Carlton, Bruce, and Ratton's off and Chris Bond is on.
Maybe just for the balance, Bernie, because Ratton has had a few touches. Here's Alvin. Bradley's been quiet, and I don't think we've called his name yet.
Not a touch for him, Bradley.
Swert already has 6 possessions, so he's well on top in that contest.
Pressure on Athorn there, and a boundary throw in. So Adelaide with 6 scoring shots to 2. And should be probably 3 or 4 goals in front. Well played by Micken to McDermott. Left foot, Ingerson outnumbered. Dorotich gets a push in the back and a free kick.
They must get in front the Adelaide forwards. Ingerson, the main player, caught behind on so many occasions. I think he was a bit unfortunate there. His opponent may have pushed him in the back and transferred the free kick to Dorotich.
Well, Bond should have taken that one. Handball comes now to Marshall, number 16. He's found Ingerson. Ingerson will swing onto his left hand. He's found Brown, who should run in and goal, and that he does. 2 goals to David Brown. And Adelaide scoot away. It's 3 goals for 22 points. They're comfortably in front of Carlton at the moment, 7.
As you would expect, 7 shots to 2 at this stage of the game. They have really dominated the early proceedings, Adelaide. Good hand pass there by Ingerson. Looking for an option, a running option there provided by Brown. And David Brown kicks his 2nd goal. Adelaide looking very good at the moment.
3-4, 1-1. Brown with 2 goals. Williams out of the centre, tried to crunch through. Jarman, free kick coming back to Williams.
Well, pretty fortunate to get that free kick. The umpire considered that he was held on to for too long after he got rid of that. Greg Williams making the umpire notice it by throwing the arms out.
Welsh the target. Coming in front, Hart.
Gets better with every game, this young player.
He's most promising, isn't he? Micken and Dorotich, well played Dorotich at the back to thump it away, giving away something in height. One of a number of stars who arrived at Carlton in 1986. A couple of others are playing today, Bradley and Kernahan. Here's Spalding. With him, Wren. Spalding tries to shove him out of the way. Gleeson at the bottom of the pack, left foot, good grab by Bond. Had Parker running for him. Now Kernahan the target. Smart goes with him. Kernahan in the front. Ben Hart just shuffled out of the way by Kernahan. D'Ulio unable to. Daryl Hart's been good. Ben Hart excellent. To Andrew Jarman, who is thriving on the duel with Williams to date. Liptak left it. Hannah's there. Got rid of Lee with some real strength, but then run down again. An important ball to be won. Williams wins it, but can't crash the tackle of Bickley. McGuinness's leg. No free kick. Handball by Parker on the up. Thrown away by Bradley. Gleeson clever to Williams. Round the body by Sexton towards the goal square. Kernahan at the back, Welsh with a fly, and in the front, Wren. Which way will it go?
The man in front should have been paid, Wren. He's pleading for that mark, and I agree with him there. Sean Wren in front. How can a man behind taking the fly be awarded the mark? The kick there coming from Parker, a high kick into the forward line. There's a man in front. That is a bad decision.
Well, really obvious on the replay too. So Welsh and Wren would be seething, and why not? And Welsh can make a goal out of this with a drop punt. Has he missed? He's got it. A controversial goal for Carlton at 2-1 to 3-4.
Well, Sean Wren absolutely distraught at that decision. As we have a look at it in replay, a couple of good hand passes coming. Clever tap on there from Adrian Gleeson. Ending up with Parker, the long kick into the forward line. Sean Wren showing courage again, getting back in front of the pack. And how can you pay that mark to the man behind? That is an amazing decision. Never mind, it's a goal to Carlton. Nothing can be done about that.
Well, certainly a goal that will be discussed in the post-mortems. Excellent tack there from Cavidan, round the back. DeLulio. Through comes Liptak. He's been tagged by Alvin, which signifies the importance that David Parkin suggested he is to the Crows team. And a decision that has incensed the local crowd here, and young Brown ends up with the Crows skipper McDermott. McDermott finds Marshall. Poor checking there from Carlton. Marshall kicks it long to the hole. Ingerson takes a big grab.
Yeah, that is a good grab. Ingerson in front. Had to be paid the mark. The crowd not happy with it. And of course, a very parochial crowd here at Princes Park also.
I don't know what they had to complain about, Bernie. Let's have a look in the replay.
Nothing at all. He dragged it down. A good mark from Ingerson in front on this occasion, in front of Sexton. There he is. Drags it back to his body. 3 or 4 grabs at the ball. Had to be awarded that mark.
Anthony Ingerson, kicking's probably not the greatest part of his game, but he should convert this one. Lines him up from 45 metres. He's pushed it to the left. And only one behind. A poor shot at goal from Ingerson. It's something that he should go on with and practice over the summer months.
He's had a couple of chances, hasn't he, inside the 50-metre line, and should have made better of those opportunities.
Dean, Hannah, good mark against Marshall. From half-back. Arguably enjoying his best season. Spalding and Maynard. Spalding in the front spot, well played. Gives Williams a run at it. Williams to Bond, but out of play. So a game that's settling down now with Adelaide leading by 10 points. They've had the best of it. Carlton with a fortuitous goal. Wren to do the ruck work with Cavidan. Cavidan holding him out. Gleeson's little kick. Maynard misses it. Bond puts the pressure on. Now Bond. Parker. Liptak with him. And so's Hart. And a good decision there. Really didn't have it under control. Liptak over the top. So bounce down at half forward for the Blues. So much riding on this game for both clubs. Carlton, with a seemingly comfortable draw in the next 3 or 4 weeks, could sew up a spot in the 6 in that period, and Adelaide are making a run at it. There's Maynard from Schwert. Hannah, well played. No pressure from Adelaide. Hannah's left foot. Smart comes from the back, so does Ben Hart. Bickley with DeUlio after him. He's outnumbered. Bickley is an important ball. Brown and DeUlio. DeUlio with brilliant pace. It had to be brought down. A professional free kick, I guess, in the end.
Yeah, not a bad free kick at all, that one. DeUlio had a chance there back after 1 week suspension. Gets a hand pass out, but had he been able to break clear, he would have been a lot closer to goal than this.
Centering kick. Kernahan with a fly. Paid it. Over the shoulder against Wren.
Yeah, free kick against Sean Wren. He really didn't position himself as well as he has been on that occasion, Wren. He has been positioning himself in front of Kernahan. Here he is caught behind. Maybe trying to cover Spalding. Well, we saw what the free kick was paid for, high over Stephen Kernahan, back of his head. The free kick was there.
Kicked 45 goals in his 11 matches to date. Over 400 goals. One of the greats at Carlton. Drop punt straight through. Kernahan's first, and the Blues are striking back now at 3-1 to 3-5.
Steve Kernahan on his way to being leading goal kicker for the 7th successive season here at Carlton. He's been a magnificent forward, has kicked over 400 goals, as Bruce said. Always presents himself, one of the very good high marks in the competition. Has played mostly at full forward this season. 46 goals for the season to Steve Kernahan, a great captain at Carlton.
Ball back in the centre. Once again, Kavanagh with the tap, doing well in the middle. DeUlio flicks it out to Gleeson. Gleeson with a smart tap to Alvin, who fumbles what he should have taken. Ben Hart comes through, but goes the man instead of the ball. Off the ground is Alvin. Gleeson with a quick handball, finds Bond, and in walks Williams. And goals. So Carlton now kick away. They hit the front for the first time this afternoon. 4 goals, 125 to Adelaide, 3-5-23.
Well, it's only been the last 5 minutes, really, that Carlton's got back into this match. Adelaide dominated proceedings early in the game. You see the smaller players just playing possession football there, ending up with Greg Williams. And Williams from about 25 metres, not a problem.
In fact, I think Carlton may have kicked the first goal to give them the early lead, but the ball's back in the centre now. Wren jumps early. That's better, Wren. Liptak with the kick. Goes up in the air, and Marshall's taken out of the play, and as Bernie called it, is a free kick to David Marshall.
Yeah, Fraser Brown just jumping straight into Marshall, not interested in the ball.
From the centre square, Williams underneath it. Ingerson coming in strongly. McGuinness, Jarman, well played, Hogg. Now Spalding on the up to Hannah running. Bond calls him on. Hannah's through the centre square. Free kick coming back against Lee off the play. Goes to Bond.
Wow, that is amazing that that's happened, because the player that was shepherding was Bond. He was dragged off the play, well behind play there, Bruce, from about 15 metres away, and the umpire pulled it up.
Again, Wren in the front spot, and it'll be a ball up. I thought a moment ago Greg Williams was delighted. That's his first goal for Carlton. He's kicked 128 in his career, but his first for the Blues. He looked pretty pleased with it. Centre half forward, 2.5 minutes remaining in this opening term. An important couple of minutes. Bradley, still not really an effective touch. Bickley, Kernahan running strongly into him. Athorn going back with a stretch. Brown, who's been one of Adelaide's stars in the opening term. Athorn, Williams, getting on top of Jarman now. Kernahan, Smart did well at the back. Welsh, who's been quite busy, all run down by Smart. McDermott, back to Ben Hart. Ben Hart's drop punt to the space, and it bounces out on the full, and Bond to bring it back in.
Great second effort there by Nigel Smart. He spoilt Kernahan, and then getting in to apply that tackle to Rowan Welsh.
Gleeson from centre wing. A goal here to the Blues would really undo Adelaide's good work in the opening turn. Kernahan, Smart did it well. Marshall, free kick. Just thinking, Bernie, Kernahan's playing against a lot of his old mates here at Glenelg. Marshall and McDermott, 2 of them, and McGuinness in the old days.
Yes, I know him pretty well, but Nigel Smart wearing him very closely at the moment.
And a long kick from Marshall. Surprises Kavanagh as it hits him on the chest. Hogg off the ground with a handball. McGuinness in for one of his few touches for the afternoon. Athorn. He's got Kavanagh. Good vision. Poor handball from Kavanagh under pressure. McDermott goes to Jarman. Little quiet in the last 5 minutes, but sets that one up. Should have been taken by Brown.
Oh, well, very lucky to get that, Brown.
Well, Brown repays Jarman. Jarman on the left foot. Bit of a poor kick intercepted by Malan Hammer. Once again, Jarman with 3 or 4 touches in a minute. Kick off the ground. Spalding swapped. And at the back of the pack is Sean Wren, who's playing that role magnificently at the moment. McDermott, quick hands to Marshall. Marshall's got Ingerson at the back of the pack, and I think he may have found him. An excellent kick from Marshall, good vision, and has set up Ingerson for his 3rd shot at goal.
It was great support there by Marshall also, because McDermott was in trouble. The run provided, and there's Ingerson on the end of that kick from Marshall. Doing well on the wing at the moment, Marshall. In fact, he's had 10 kicks and 1 hand pass up against Fraser Brown, who's only had 3 kicks.
Ingerson with a shot to put Adelaide in front the first quarter. Has erred again, this time to the right-hand side of the goalpost. And Carlton go into the quarter-time huddle in front. They lead by the solitary point. 4 goals 1, plays 3 goals 6.
3 goals. Don't forget, for SAS viewers in Adelaide, a replay of Hawthorn and Fitzroy at the end of this match. Well, this will be a big quarter because Carlton withstood the Adelaide challenge and got back, but Adelaide have played well enough to be in with a real chance here. They were very good in that opening term. 25-24, 4-1 to 3-6. Wren wins it. Jarman's quick kick to Lee, who takes the mark at centre half forward.
I think you might find that Tony McGuinness is going to pick up Greg Williams. There's always going to be a battle of tactics in the middle.
Well, it's a strange situation because Matthew Hogg was tagging McGuinness, and now McGuinness has a job tagging Williams.
Lee from about 50 metres, a high drop punt. He's given it a real ride to the square. Ingerson with a fly at the back, got a couple of grabs on it. Carlton on the bottom, and it'll be a bounce down with Adelaide within 10 metres of the goal.
I think it's a good move from Corns. We saw in Sydney last year that McGuinness went on to Williams and really turned the game around for the Crows.
Yes, Matthew Hogg now picking up Jarman.
Ingerson doing the ruck work. Dean's quick kick away. Schwert with him. Bradley. Free kick. Schwert.
Oh.
Chicken touch. Wood.
Oh, very soft, Bruce. Look at Bradley's stats in that first quarter. He's only had 1 hand pass up to quarter time. Schwert, his direct opponent, has had 3 kicks and 4 hand passes.
24-year-old who has made his debut this season. Tucked away in the pocket. Parker kicked a goal from here in the first quarter. Drop punt. Good kick. Goal. Adelaide back in front, and Schwert with his first, and Bradley's got to have to lift his game here at 30-25.
Looks like Mickens coming off the ground to be replaced by John Klug. First game back after injury. Well, there's that free kick, and really there wasn't much in that, Jared. Hardly touched him, but very disappointed Bradley with that decision. Klug coming on to play at centre half forward. Micken has been very good in that first part of the game.
Well, I guess that one squares the one for Rowan Welsh in the first quarter. Williams had the headlock applied by McGuinness, but no free kick. Aythorne dummies the handball and goes down the corridor. This is the way Carlton have been instructed to play. Ball on the ground. Parker underneath it. The umpire says, fellas, I'll take the ball. Let's clear it out and get underway again. Ben Hart on the bottom of the pack. Amazingly, only 17 years old. Played every game this season. Be a star for Adelaide for years to come. Wren versus Kernahan. Kernahan round the corner. Out in front was Welsh. Through comes Hogg, who kicks it. It needs to off break, but he gets a leggy. And it goes left of the goalpost. We're only behind.
There's another shot at goal, I think, Jared. The umpire bringing the ball back. Matthew Hogg to have another shot from only 20 metres out.
I think he may have been taken perhaps a little bit high by Smart, and Smart indicating there that he was just got him at the back of the neck, and so no infringement.
Golly.
So we've seen the last 2 shots of goal come from very, very suspect free kicks.
He's only kicked 1 goal for 92, Matthew Hogg.
Well, this should be a dead set soda. Walks in, and that's exactly what it was, a goal.
Well, Carlton back in front. Kicked very accurately. Only had 6 shots at goal, but still leading the match. Adelaide with 10 shots at goal and 1 point behind. As we have a look at this in replay, good play by Hogg. He read it beautifully, raced through, but how that free kick was paid, I cannot work out. Very soft free kick there. Free kick paid to Matthew Hogg.
(31-30). So a soft free kick there for Hogg and goal. Here's Bradley. Will he be inspired into some action? Aythorne with the left foot looking for Williams, who's got away from Jarman again. Williams centering. On a long lead, Welsh. Good play by Williams.
Yeah, Welsh very good up forward too, Bruce. Obviously has goal-kicking ability, 84 goals last year in the VFA. He looks very good, can take a mark. And he is picked up at only number 33 in the 92 March draft.
He's about 40 metres out. Geez, kicked that well. Look at that go through for a goal. Carlton 6-1 to 4-6. And that was his second for Welsh. Gee, Bernie, you would have been pleased with that one in your heyday.
Didn't that come off his beautifully there from Welsh from about 45 metres out, and that's the difference. Ingerson in that first quarter has had 3 shots from a similar distance and didn't register a goal, but on that occasion that was a magnificent kick from Welsh.
Back in the centre. Wren with a good tap down finds Jarman. Jarman fumbles a little bit. Gleeson is besieged by players. There's a little bit of push and shove, but it's interesting, Carlton's last 2 goals have come from Hogg and Welsh. Hogg's manning up Jarman, and Welsh got his kick from Williams. Through comes McGuinness. McGuinness goes long, but it'll float over the boundary line. And my point there was that Corns instituted the change of those 2 players, and immediately it's cost them 2 goals.
Well, he may think, Gerard, that Greg Williams doesn't man up as well as Matthew Hogg, so he may get some attacking moves out of Tony McGuinness.
The fly was from young Caverton, but it comes to Darryl Hart. Hard on to McDermott. McDermott finds McGuinness, who is getting away from Williams, as Bernie suggested, and an excellent pass has found Ingerson. But you wouldn't like to have your house on him converting this chance. He's kicked 3 points already this afternoon.
Well, John Klug's only been on the ground for about 3 minutes, and he's been replaced again by Micken. Micken back to centre-half forward.
So in comes Ingerson. He needs to convert one for the confidence, and that looks a bit better. It certainly is. It's a goal.
Well, had plenty of opportunities in the first quarter, Ingerson. Adelaide 1 point behind. 37 plays 36. Good hand passing there. McGuinness, with his pace, just able to get away from Greg Williams, and an excellent lead from Ingerson from about 43 metres out. That is a much better kick for goal. He had 3 opportunities, wasted them all in the first quarter.
Just a point into the Princess Park. Jarman with a little one. Brown unable to. Bradley looks for a free kick. Was ridden into the ground. Well, holding the ball given.
Oh, that's a tough one also. Well, Jarman, good tactics though, Jarman. He just held the Guernsey, put the hand up in the air, and that's what the umpire saw.
Gee, not a good kick though. He had Swert to the left, but it was Hannah versus Swert one out, and Hannah's a hard man to beat in those circumstances, and surely a more direct approach would have been better. Big fly there by Parker. Here's Darryl Hart, who's played quite well. Running out of play.
That kick of Jarman's was to Swert, who was flat-footed. You just can't put players under pressure there.
Wren to do the work. Spalding to come in late. Not a good tap by Wren. He had a couple of other options, or Bradley. He's just, I think that's symbolic of how he started today. He's out of sorts. And a free kick given against Bradley for
Unbelievable kick. Well, it was deliberate though, Jared. But almost a touchdown there from Bradley. He just started stumbling, and that was the end of him.
I just wonder how he's woken up this morning, the champ, because he's just out of sorts completely. He's Schwert, who's his opponent, and has had a terrific game today. Drop punt, getting back Alvin with courage. Didn't take the mark though in the end. Ingerson cleverly, lip tack, can't get it away. Held onto by Sexton. Sexton to Alvin. Alvin's left foot should go straight to Smart. He takes it. Bickley's running wide for him. Smart goes to Bickley with a very poor kick, an awful kick. Here's Brown. Now Adelaide should pay for this, but they might be able to hold it up. Well played, Jarman, to keep De Ulio in his tracks. Oh, Smart got a hard one there, and the free kick going earlier to Hogg through the centre. Hogg missing Gleeson. McDermott with him. Gleeson tries to run through. Jarman holds it up. Gee, it's tough for the moment. Bickley, Hart misses it. A lot of mistakes. Brown over the top with Marshall. And finally, Maynard towards the boundary line. And I bet you the Blues fans will scream for deliberate there.
Wasn't that pressure football both sides?
Well, they're
fierce tackling. Fierce tackling, but great opportunity wasted there by Nigel Smart with that very poor delivery. A couple of players running for him. All he had to do was put it in front of them, and Adelaide would have had a real chance of goaling.
Well, it was well read from Marshall. He's kicked it long. He's found Micken, who's run onto the ground and immediately made his presence felt. Micken to the centre of the forward line. Ingerson, well, if he can do anything in football, he can mark. And he really is getting away from Sexton, although he just hasn't converted enough. But perhaps with this shot, it could be his second goal in the quarter.
Yes, he provided a very good lead there, Ingerson. And it was honoured by Mark Micken, who is doing very well at centre-half forward.
Well, from exactly the same position as not so long ago, Ingerson strolls in and puts it straight through the centre. So Adelaide strike back and they've hit the front. 6 goals, 6. 5 points in front of Carlton.
This is the replay of that lead up. Very open forward line. Ingerson had plenty of room to lead into. The Carlton players not really getting back and filling the gaps there. Ingerson had plenty of room to lead into and was out in front of Sexton to take that strong chest mark.
Adelaide by 5 points at Princes Park. Kernahan in the ruck wins it. Gleeson cleverly. Cavidan on a long lead. With him is Smart over the top of both. D'Ulio with his pace. Oh, good kick. What a goal. A beauty. The Blues are in front. It's a good game here at Princes Park at 7-1 to 6-6.
Yeah, well, it looked a pretty even match-up on paper, Bruce, before the start. And you see D'Ulio back after a 1-week suspension. Kicking his 17th goal for the season, has been a very handy player for Carlton on the forward line. He brought that back beautifully. Just put it on the boots. Ben Hart was a player trying to get the smother, affect the smother. Was not able to.
Gleeson on screen. He's been pretty effective playing against McDermott. Both have had a fair few possessions. Gleeson with 10. That man starting to come into it again also, Jarman, after a good start to the game. Liptak. Left-hand handball to Marshall. Marshall could go all the way and goal. He's got Murphy at the back. But Sexton, who's been changed with Dean, just touches that one over to the refuge of the boundary line.
There's also Steve Kernahan doing the ruck work for Carlton, and Cavidan at full forward on Nigel Smart.
Kernahan takes the ruck. Aythorne fumbles what he should have taken. Liptak gets it. McDermott up in the air. Murphy in the lead for the ball. It's Scott Lee. And punched over the boundary line. So it's 12 scoring shots to only 8. Carlton's good strike rate is really keeping them in there. As you see the hit-outs, Sean Wren being effective there in the centre. Taken too high.
Another change by Carlton. Parker off, and Koutafidis is on for his first senior game. A former under-18 champion hurdler, 110-metre hurdles.
Good tap there by Micken. McDermott round the corner. Could it be Ingerson again? This time it was Murphy. Ball on the bottom of the pack. There's a bit of desperation there now from Carlton. Bradley for one of his few kicks. It's a poor one. It finds Micken, who taps it forward. Brown brought down by Gleeson. Bond gets the handball to Dorotich, and Dorotich gets Carlton out of trouble. It's Williams with the one hand. Superb Mark Williams against the pressure of McGuinness.
He held him off beautifully, didn't he, Jared?
Yes, well, he's a talented player, if not the best in the AFL, certainly the top bracket. Well done, Koutafidis, for his first touch in AFL football. Carlton did a lot of work convincing this boy that his future lay on the football field and not the athletics track. And perhaps that's an indication of why. Strong mark from Maynard at the back of the pack.
Sweeps it to Bickley. Yes, Koutafidis on Hart, so a 19-year-old on a 17-year-old. Bickley running away. Smart doing the shepherding. Bickley from the centre square. Lee and Micken the targets. Oh, well read Liptak. He should go. Running, drop punt, gives it a hook, kicks it terribly, and he should be upset. Gee, that was a gimme.
It was a gimme. It was only 30 metres out Liptak, and really just tried to steer it through instead of really just drilling it. He held back on that kick. He's got a little bit nervous coming into goal.
Don't get many easier opportunities at this level of footy. Sexton bangs it at Dean with a big fly. Free kick going to Kernahan or Dean, is it?
No, it has to
Take
be
the mark, is he?
Oh,
The mark was there.
oh, how did he get up on Micken's back?
Well,
he used his hands to get up there.
It's irrelevant.
No, it is not irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. I've asked Bill Della.
Oh, well, you and Bill Della need the sack.
Kernahan, well, Jared Carlton, we need him today, Bernie. Here's Hart, Ben Hart cleverly to Daryl Hart. Left foot. Gee, I didn't think Dean held it very long anyway. Back to the centre. Better be careful, I think I'm barracking for Adelaide. Here's Jarman. Well played. Not such a good handball. McDermott to Marshall, who's been pretty effective. Marshall with a short one in towards Lee. Got a good bounce. He can go here. Goes for it. Drop punt. Kicks it pretty well. The Crows in front by a goal. And Scott Lee, who's kicked 5 goals in his last 4 matches, has kicked a couple today.
Yes, well, I'd just like to apologise to you and Bill Della there, Jared. That was a little bit harsh, calling for the sack. But I just cannot agree with that interpretation. We see Scott Lee kicking his second goal as the Carlton player, his direct opponent, Milhana, slipped. But Scott Lee has turned out to be a pretty effective forward.
Well, must be crisis time for Carlton because Kernahan's been moved into the ruck in the centre, but well done by Wren, takes the ball away. Oh, could have been a free kick there to Liptak. Comes now to Dean. Dean goes long. Kernahan, strong mark overhead. And Carlton have got plenty of space. This will finish with Bradley. No, it won't. Gleeson goes totally across the ground. He had Bradley free, but he goes for the long kick in. Picking the ball up now as a sweeper. He goes to a banana kick, a sensational goal. So 2 goals to Rondolulio this quarter, and Carlton get back to draw the scores level. It's 8 goals won, 7-7, 49 points apiece.
Look at the difference in the goal kicking. 14 shots to Adelaide. They wasted so many chances in that first quarter. And only 9 shots to Carlton. Great kicking. 8 goals won. That is tremendous accuracy.
49 apiece. Great mark by Kernahan in the centre. Bond runs into his own man, Dorotich. McGuinness, excellent handball to Marshall. Get run down by Brown. Just didn't have the vision for a moment. High kick by Hogg. Dorotich should take it, and he does. Gee, a moment ago, Gerald was a snooper calling the sweeper as Dorotich goes into the centre. D'Ulio, not this time. Wren, no free kick. Gleeson, who's been important. Drop punt pass to Caverton. With him, Lee. Smart, I should say. Caverton goes to ground. Throw in the pocket. Young Caverton, the 20-year-old, back for the first time in 3 weeks today. He's a very promising player. And so's the man with him now, Wren. McDermott did all right to hold it up in the end. Smart, now Ben Hart. Fit of the fumbles, keeps his eye on it. Pressured by Bradley. Kudafidi smothered by Daryl Hart. Schwert run down, a good tackle, McDermott. Oh, play Kudafidi, he's a goal! Well done, young fellow. Well, that'll lift them. D'Ulio and Kudafides. Inspired goals within a couple of minutes, and the Blue Boys are in front at Princes Park by a goal.
Yes, inspirational stuff by the young fellow, 19 years of age. He's got plenty of size about him too, Kudafides, 191 centimetres. And plenty of pace, obviously, being the Australian under-18 national champ at the 110 metres hurdles. But there again, we saw a very clever kick off the outside of the boot, the banana goal.
Ball's back in the centre. Aythorne. It's Bond. The ball up will take place. I see another coaching move. Daryl Hart's been moved up onto Craig Bradley, which surprises a little because Swert was doing well. Good ball up. Kernahan with a big leap. He's got D'Ulio on his own. He's got good pace. Ben Hart comes in well and smothers that opportunity. Williams with Jarman. Plenty of pressure there. The umpire putting away the whistle and lets it go, but now he decides enough's enough. And once again, he ignites the Princess Park Pro Carlton crowd. Brian Sheehan bounces the ball. This time it's Spalding. He's been a little bit quiet today, Spalding. Left handball finds Brown. Marshall attempts to kick off the ground. Maynard dives on the ball, and how does the umpire see that one? Well, he decides another ball up.
Well, fair enough there too, Jared, because the Carlton player went in and grabbed the ball also. That player being Fraser Brown.
It's on the 50-metre line. Carlton have just assumed control of this game. Jarman with the scrub around the left foot. He's got Micken, who's been brought on midway through this quarter. Brown has been a little bit quiet, gets tackled. Aythorne, well, he's got Williams, who's all alone. 30 metres behind is McGuinness in pursuit, but Williams lines up, the goal goes bang. But it's gone across the face of goals, and only a point. He'd be disappointed in that, Williams.
There's a bit of an opportunity there. McGuinness was following the play down the field into the Adelaide forward line, and Williams chose to stay off him. Unfortunately, the rebound found Williams across that half-forward line.
Tasker to Daryl Hart, back to Tasker. Aythorne beating Brown. Excellent mark It's got Spalding short. There are players everywhere here. And Spalding's got Williams. Will he go to him? Well, he should have first up. Now Williams props and stops. Back to Spalding. Back to Bradley. Bradley under pressure. And not well played at all. Spalding should have got rid of it with the first give. Maynard's kick wide. Marshall makes it. And they should run on from here. Smart and Tasker. It's Tasker firstly. Well, he was going to give it to Smart. Now he's under great pressure. An important ball here. Gleeson goes for it. Marshall wins it. The handball. Tasker, good tackle by Welsh. Real pressure here. Cavidan goes to ground. Maynard leg should get a free kick. He will. The Blues don't like it, but it was there.
No doubt. He was grabbed by the foot, Maynard. Great tackling by both sides. We're seeing a wonderful example of pressure football here, both by Adelaide and Carlton.
Gee, Bernie, I get the impression some of these players are tired already before half-time. McDermott flattened by Williams down the ground.
Yeah, the free kick to be taken by Scott Lee across that half-forward line.
It's been a fierce game on a pretty good track ground-wise, but it does take a bit out of the legs. Well, Lee in trouble. Hanging on Hannah, and Lee's made a mess of it. Aythorne gets legged. Free kick.
Well, that must be the only soft part of the ground there, Bruce. Scott Lee in all sorts of trouble trying to get around Milhana. Milhana has got heaps of pace, so it was a rather dangerous ploy in the first place.
Yes, just confusing ambition with ability there. Lee should have just gone straight down the line with a kick. You see the turnover with Bradley getting his second kick for the afternoon. Bradley goes long. Spalding with the fly, but it's Wren who's done that job magnificently across half-back. So the push in the back it is. Spalding will take the free kick. He's moving the ball quickly. He's got Kernahan alone. Kernahan with a chest mark. He should have taken that in the hands. I can't believe that from an experienced champion of Kernahan. Through comes Dorothy, who puts a heavy bump on Brown. This game is willing, it's tough and it's exciting. Jarman, always with plenty of time, finds Hart. Hart round the corner. Liptak took his eyes off the ball. There's plenty of hard bumps around at the moment.
There's a free kick paid,
Free kick being paid.
Free kick going to Aythorne.
Well, it's just been reversed, that free kick, because Jarman imparted a little bit of physicality on Aythorne, which he shouldn't have done because the Crows had the free kick. The back of the pack is Wren. He's exciting. He's got mobility. He's no dinosaur. He's a champion in the making. Good tap off the ground. It comes to McInnes, who has been quiet despite the fact that he's been on Williams. McMicken in front. Good tap there from Dorotich. And he hits it to the refuge of the boundary line, just favouring Carlton on centre wing.
Carlton really has found another gear in this term, putting enormous pressure on Adelaide.
Wren runs into Kernahan, gives away a free kick. He's one of the men I was pointing out's exhausted, Wren, because he's had 3 or 4 big men against him in this first half. He'll need a rest. Kernahan's kick, well played by Bickley. Brown clever. Gleeson to go for goal. Drop punt, puts it through. 10-2, 7-7. And the Blues are on a roll. It's an ominous sign, Bernie.
It's been a wonderful quarter of football by Carlton. 6-goal term. And doing things very nicely at the moment. They have applied enormous pressure to this Adelaide side. And just a few cracks starting to appear in the Crows. And there we see Gleeson just finishing that off very nicely. A lot of pressure being applied and the cracks starting to appear.
Free kick out of the centre, going to Adelaide, 62-49. It's been a splendid game, and a moment of truth now for Adelaide. Wren to Ingerson on a long leg, gets pushed out of it, no free. Doritich's left foot to a Paddock. Marshall out after it, and so is to Ulio and Brown. Marshall did very well. Liptak's half volley was clever. Geez, conceded a lot of ground. McDermott's going to have to go. Kernahan, his best mate, wins the footy. For the opposition to Ulio quickly, not so well done. Smart to bang it back to centre half forward. Micken out of position. Dorotich should get a free kick, and he will.
Yes, the play will come back now. The umpire has signalled the free kick. There's no advantage there, much to the disgust of Adrian Gleeson, who was charging away.
Correct decision by the umpire. Once play stops, he has no option other than to bring the ball back.
Elvin goes wide into the sunshine. It is a little bit slippery over there, as you see. Well done, Marshall, who brings the ball back for the Crows. He's got Ingerson again.
Oh, he's paying a free kick. Surely that was just use of the body. There's an experienced umpire, a grand final umpire of 1991.
You said it all, Bernie, I think. Hannah comes wide. He's got the young player in Koutafidis. Boy, he looks a talented prospect. The long kick. He's Spalding. Backs into the pack. Good punch from Maynard. But at the back of the pack is Gleeson, who bends the ball around, but it's pretty high. Underneath it is Wren and Kernahan. Bradley, you'll look for the quick hands. But Gleeson was too close to the boundary line. I didn't like that option in the first place. Gleeson just took the ball out of bounds.
John Klug about to come back on. He's replacing Murphy.
They've kicked 6 goals in this term, Carlton. And they look like they're in for another one. As Spalding, well, I wouldn't be so sure with Spalding, but he should goal this from only 30 metres out.
Yeah, well, he's no certainty, Earl Spalding. He's pretty erratic in front of goal. Only from 30, 35 metres out, Big Earl Spalding. He's kicked 11 goals for the season. And coming in for his first goal today.
So Spalding would have kicked a number of goals during this week, practicing this exact same thing. Lines up and straight through the middle. So Spalding gets his first and Carlton get their 11th, 7th goal for the term. They now lead 68 points to 49.
So, well, they've opened up a 19-point advantage. As you watch this in replay, Earl Spalding just working his way in front of Maynard. It's been a pretty good battle, that one. Maynard doing pretty well. Spalding with the use of his body and greater height advantage made it virtually impossible for Maynard to affect that spoil.
68 to 49. The Blues have kicked the last 4 goals in the game. Well, again, Liptak just with a little tap and free kick against Alvin. There's been some technical free kicks played here today. Liptak's drop punt. Ingerson the lead. He's been very good today. And a good mark. Oh, gee, not paid. Thought he held that a couple of times. Brown, Williams, Ingerson now, Wren. Oh, good take by the young fellow. Wren's kick, Sexton in the front spot, Lee at the back. Sexton takes the mark.
Too tall for Lee.
Well, Wren was under pressure when he kicked it to him. Sexton goes wide. Caverton, Marshall runs into him. Brown, he's got Hogg. Hogg's got a paddock, and D'Ulio's with him. Hogg goes from centre wing up towards Kernahan on the half-forward flank. Well robbed, though, by Maynard in the end. The handball to Smart. Smart's handball under some pressure to Jarman. It'll have to be quick. Turned Hogg inside out brilliantly. Left foot by Jarman to centre wing. Dorotic in the box seat. No pressure from Nickon that time. And Dorotic is tightened up, takes the mark. Hannah running for him. The Blues are on top at the moment. Centre wing, it'll be a throw-in. I thought Ingerson took that mark a moment ago.
Well, I thought his opponent, actually Dean, may have got just a touch in between a couple of grabs there, Bruce.
Wren and Caverton. Caverton at the back, wins the tap. McGuinness tries to crash his way through. He's been quiet today. In fact, McGuinness and Bradley, who if you're betting before the match, you'd back one of them to be the real possession getter on the day. And look at that, 2 and 3 for McGuinness, and Bradley has had 3 and 3.
Yes, there's always going to be a game 1 in the middle, this one. Liptak will swing onto the left foot. A pretty ordinary kick. Comes to Gleeson now. Gleeson has had his kick smothered. Jarman, what can he do? Quick hands, intelligent player. Something always happens, and it's Brown who's got Klug on his own, but lets it go. Well, what happened there? It's a goal, but who was it to?
Brown.
Brown, yes, I think it may have been over the line there. It did sit up invitingly for John Klug to have a go at that one. Let's have a look at that in replay. There's a kick coming from Brown, and Klug, I thought he may have passed it to Klug anyway. It just sits up there and just over the line, the goal to Brown.
3 goals now to Brown. He's been pretty good today. Koutafidis into the ruck for his first run on the ball. Klug should just run in and goal this now. He takes it out of the middle. and hits the woodwork.
From 25 metres, John Klug. And that's two real opportunities Adelaide have wasted in this second quarter.
Yes, Liptak and Klug. Jarman doing well again out of the centre there. He's had a good term. Marshall at the back. High one round the body. Liptak, Athorn, Dorotich. Dorotich with one hand. Athorn. Micken gives him a push. And illegally, free kick to Athorn. In the back pocket. Against Micken. Again, it was only a touch. He looks for Alvin. Poor kick. Now Bond. Good hands. D'Urlier loves this. Runs through the centre with a high one. A thumping kick to Kernahan. Over the back, Tasker. Ben Hart, who hasn't played quite as well today. Bradley with him. Bradley worries him out. Oh, good play inside. The handball by Welsh. D'Urlier goes for it and misses. And for once, the swooper tried to do a little too much. He should have kicked it about 2 steps before he did. And good pressure from Adelaide coming in from the side. Kernahan and Wren with 20 seconds remaining. Over the back, Welsh. Ben Hart's quick kick away. Marshall. Not quite. Couldn't do a Williams, but did very well. Micken just gets rid of it in a hurry. Quick hands to McGuinness. Adelaide with one last thrust. A quick kick to Klug. 12 seconds remaining. You won't know that, of course. Plays on now Jarman. This is important for Adelaide. Will it sit in time? 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3. He's taking too long. Siren will go. Left foot goes for it and kicks it behind. So at half-time, it's been entertaining. Adelaide's had all the chances. Carlton took the initiative from them in the middle part of that second term. And at half-time, the Blues are leading. But Carlton are 11 goals 2 to Adelaide 8 goals 9. It's 68 to 57.
Incredibly accurate. And some of the goals the Crows have missed, particularly the last one there from Klug and Liptak's running into an open goal, really, in the final analysis of this half, have been costly. And I think the Crows could be justifiably in front.
Half-time at Princes Park. Carlton leads 11-2-68 to Adelaide 8-9-57. Second half about to recommence. 8-9-11-2. Big quarter coming up. 68 to 57. Wren, one of the stars of the first half, goes against Caverton. Caverton wins the tap. Wren back a bit too far on that occasion, as Bernie pointed out in the opening minutes of the first quarter. Bickley cleverly sold 2 dummies in that exchange, but kicks it straight to Dorotich. Micken caught underneath it. Dorotich swings onto his left. Koutafidis at the back. Good grab. Takes it in one hand. Left foot, he's a likely type. So's this man, Wren, who comes across the front. Spalding goes to ground. Maynard misses it. Here's Gleeson. He's got Spalding inside. Goes for goal. Gives it a ride. Won't quite make it. Getting underneath it was Welsh. With him, Tasker still in play. And no free kick coming to Carlton. They were looking for one there through D'Urlier, and it's over the line for behind. So the Blues by 2 goals at 11-3 to 8-9.
Yes, I thought Gleeson could have centred that ball. That's where Welsh led. However, he elected to go himself. The Crows running the ball out. Carlton are playing a zone defence, and the Crows are getting away from it pretty easily. Koutafidis, the hurdler. Big smack there from Brown. Got rid of Bond. McDermott flicks the ball up to McGuinness, who's under pressure. Good handball again, finds McDermott. The Crows have got something going here now with Brown. Finds Liptak. Liptak with good hands. Finds Darryl Hart. Darryl Hart's got Ingerson. Can he mark? Yes, he can. Takes it on his chest. I am surprised that players don't take these marks in their hands, Bernie.
Well, he was out in front there. Probably made certain of that one. A great passage of play. Good lead up there by the Adelaide side. A wonderful handball. Getting out of trouble from the half-back line. And Ingerson leading in to a very open forward line.
Ingerson shoots at goal, dropping a little short. The ball's still in play there. Caverton on the line. It's just kicked out of bounds. Sexton delivering the final blow.
There again, Jared, that kick from Ingerson from 45 metres out, not making the distance, and we saw that in that first quarter. really disappointing for players further upfield when they see that their forwards aren't converting.
Well, Craig Bradley has run into a trainer. In fact, it was a Crows trainer, and that's why the crowd is so incensed. And that has allowed Daryl Hart to take an easy chest mark. A chip shot has found Wren.
He got a bit of applause from his mate when he got back to the boundary line also.
Do you think he'll figure in your votes this afternoon, Bernie, for good defence?
Well, I reckon that coaches have used that ploy in the past. They've sent the trainers out at kick-off, Gerard, to fill a few of the spaces in the defence.
Well, importantly, Wren with a shot at goal. Looks pretty good, and it is. So Adelaide strike first blood in the second half. They go on to 9-9-63. They're 6 points behind Carlton, 11-3-69.
Well, he's a terrific player, Sean Wren, for the Adelaide Crows. Playing in the ruck, he's taken the first ruck position from Mark Micken. Micken now being used as a specialist forward. And Sean Wren kicks his first goal for the afternoon.
Adelaide winning a goal. McDermott out of the centre. Brown's handball to Liptak. Misses Marshall. Koutafidis, who's made an auspicious debut after coming onto the ground and kicking a goal under pressure in that second term. There's Marshall.
I thought it was good to see Wren floating into that forward line. He's playing mainly across half-back, but can hurt Carlton if he moves up into that forward position.
Micken well played. McDermott's left foot, but straight to Dorotic, who's on his own when Micken does the ruck work around the centre. Dorotic's kick not good. Here's Wren. McDermott goes back to Daryl Hart. Under pressure, left foot. Brown should have taken it. Poor attempt. Schwert threw it up, got rid of it. Cavidan swings it to Bradley, who gets away from Hart this time. Hogg's going to run for him, and so Spalding. And to Ulio and Kernahan are up forward. Bradley indecisive. He's just on the wrong leg today. There's no question about that.
He's taken far too long, hasn't he, Craig Bradley?
Kernahan eventually, and he chips it to Kernahan, who's about 51 metres out. I think it's a 50-yard line here at Carlton, not a 50-metre line. So it would take a terrific kick from Kernahan. Looks like he's copped one across the Adams apple today. A big mark there. Drop punt. Didn't quite get it. Spalding's there. Wren at the back with one hand. Gee, covers some ground, Wren. Should plot his course in one day, Gerard. It'll be fascinating reading. And it's 11-4 to 9-9.
Yes, well, they've done that with a number of on-ball players. I think it was Barry Mitchell that they discovered. He ran 27 kilometres in one game. An incredible performance. Marshall with the long kick to the wing. Micken couldn't take it. Alvin overruns it. Athorn now should get the handball away. He does to Koutafidis, who does show explosive pace. Kicks the ball to the centre. At the back is Spalding, who dummies a handball. Now it's Bradley. He goes with the right hand and finds Brown. It was a poor decision from Bradley. Could have gone straight to goal, but good defence from the Crows, and they've bottled it up once again, just outside the 50-metre line for Carlton.
And poor execution of the hand pass from Bradley. Put it behind Fraser Brown. If he had to put it out in front, there might have been some sort of chance.
Yes, probably execution was the problem there rather than the thought. Good play now from Bradley, who once again finds Brown under pressure. I thought that was dangerous play from Jarman, bringing that ball in. He should have just gone to the refuge of the boundary line and started again where they can man up. Impressive statistics from Jarman. Been picked up by Hogg since halfway through the second quarter. Maynard. Long kick there from Tasker. Goes to the centre of the ground where it's Klug versus Milan Hanna. Athorn, the draft choice from Sydney, goes to Elvin. Elvin through the centre of the ground, a poor kick unless he finds Welsh. And Welsh comes charging through. Spalding gives it away but goes again himself. Good pressure from the Crows. Williams, first touch for the quarter, flicks it through. Good handball from Williams. Bradley round the corner. He's got Welsh. Can he take a chest mark? No, intercepted by the Crows. Brown. Well, surely this will finish in a ball up. And good defensive work from the Crows. They summoned their numbers and blotted out once again a promising Carlton foray into the forward line.
Spalding, McDermott over the top. Spalding with him. Stalemate. A bit heavy on this part of the ground. There's McDermott, the captain. Played a lot of his early football with Kernahan. They were two of the great stars at Glenelg those early 1980s when they were challenging Port Adelaide and Norwood for supremacy. Wren's tap to McDermott. High one, round his body. Alvin versus Liptak. Liptak gave a little shove, got away with it. Micken couldn't quite get there. Bond had the pace to Athorn. Athorn should attack. Drop punt. Kernahan's there, but chipping in is McDermott.
He was almost off, Bruce. He was just about away.
Squaring kick towards Bickley. Off one leg, good kick to Brown. Adelaide mounting again. Smart with rebound. Ingerson on the lead. Will it get that far? It does. It was good footy.
Yeah, it's good footy all around, Bruce. Especially by Smart, providing that run up at the centre of the ground. He left his opponent there.
Bernie, this is one of the most important kicks of the day, I reckon, because Ingerson's won the footy superbly today. He hasn't kicked well, kicked a couple of goals in the second term. I think he's had 6 shots for goal for 2 goals. And Adelaide needs this, and so does Ingerson. This to put Adelaide within a point at Princes Park. Drop punt, leans back, kicks it. Misses, not good enough.
Well, if you have a look at his technique, that's where his problem is. He would be far better off holding the ball under the bottom. It's a bit similar to the way that Melbourne, in particular Ray Jordan, trained the Irish recruits. Hold the ball underneath, which allows you to drop it perfectly on the boot.
Dean's kicked to halfback, so 2-4 to Ingerson and 1 miss. Here's Fraser Brown from halfback with a short one. Over the top, Bradley running, Daryl Hart with him.
And here's the other Hart in Ben. Ball now with McGuinness, who goes wide along the boundary line. Swirt. Wren comes in like a rover. His mobility is exciting. Sexton. Hannah. Straight up in the air towards the ozone layer goes up. Hannah. The ball is out of bounds on the full, and the Princess Park crowd do not like it.
Tony McGuinness very light on for stats this afternoon.
Drives the ball forward. Could have been a free kick to Micken.
It's going the other way.
Well,
I was with you. I thought that Kavanagh jumped fairly indiscriminately into the pack, but he's paid that for a nudge out against Micken on Dorotich, I think.
Well, a little bit baffling today in some of the decisions, the umpire. Jarman at the bottom of the pack, but through comes DeLulio, the swooper. Swings onto his left foot. Kernahan at the back. Good spoil from Smart. Kernahan with the handball. Finds DeLulio again. He'll go to goal now. Will it make it? Welsh smothers. Oh, great spoil there from Tasker. Welsh could have done better on the smother, on the shepherding out.
Gee, that was a terrific save, wasn't it? That was extreme desperation by Tasker.
Looks for Wren, gets pushed in the back. Wren, no free kick. Well, finally. I think the umpire was just waiting then. It's been baffling, to say the least. Now McDermott to Hart. Adelaide setting it up again. This Daryl Hart. Leeds coming towards centre. He goes to Ben Hart. Ben Hart short to Ingerson. Makes it. Good mark.
Is Gleeson really not covering hard enough, getting to Ben Hart, who made that option available? Gleeson saw it and really just jogged after him. He's taken a couple of those marks, Ingerson, in this quarter.
Well, you wouldn't fancy him from here, and he's kicked out terribly. He's kicked 2 goals for and missed 2 others. 8 shots for goal for 2. I'm sort of on his back a bit at the moment, but it makes such a difference, doesn't it?
But the promising thing, Bruce, is that he wins the ball well, and I don't believe that it's that difficult a technique problem to change.
Alvin's kick, oh, well played, Wren. But the other key, Bernie's got to be, can you keep afford to giving him a chance? Now here's McGuinness, who goes bang from 55 metres. Right there, Klug is there, off the ground, smothered. A chance for Ingerson, his left foot as it rolled to hit the post. It was touched, I think, in transit, and eventually hit the post. So it's 9 goals 11 to 11-5. Ingerson with 2 goals 5, but we wouldn't put that one down as a black mark against him.
Brown on his own. Been a little bit quiet today, Brown, with only 7 possessions. He was considered for the stateside not so long ago, but today fairly quiet. Through comes Dorotich. No player really wanted to put their head over the ball. Swirt, who was excellent in the first part of the game. that's an excellent kick once again. He finds that man who seems to have a bit of pressure on him at the moment, Ingerson. He gives it away. I wonder if that was because he didn't want to take the shot at goal.
I think he's lost a bit of confidence, hasn't he, in his goal-kicking ability, but it wasn't a good kick. Mick and the play intended, and he was standing still and had no opportunity, no chance at all of getting there.
Williams to centre wing, Bradley in the front spot. Daryl Hart with him, still Bradley running it out. Well, it's a struggle for Bradley today. One of the great players in the game, but out of the marking in this term, Adelaide more than double the Blues. But Carlton lead by a goal on the scoreboard, 11-5, 9-11. Goals have been hard to get in this term. Wren in the front spot, with him Spalding, Gleeson and Spalding and McDermott. And it'll be a ball up. David Howlett and Brian Sheehan, the umpires, both experienced.
Just having a look at Bradley, I wouldn't be surprised to find out if he had the flu or some similar problem. Just doesn't seem to have the run that he usually does.
I've watched him a few times share it off the ball today, and he has been struggling, just trying to get his breath back at times, and I agree with you. Here's Spalding, left foot. Smart will have to go for it. He does. Hogg, good tackle by Smart. Welsh had it robbed off him. Adelaide's defence has been very good. They hold it up there. Gee, Nigel Smart's played well, hasn't he? It's been a terrific game. He's
played terrific, especially on Kernahan. The quality opposition too. Kernahan has only taken 3 marks. He's kicked 45 goals for the season before today, and yet he has been pretty quiet today.
Smart's kick to centre wing. A critical time in the match, I feel, with goals hard to get and a goal the difference. Brown round the body. Scott Lee, who's kicked 2 goals in the first half. Sexton with him. Lee went to ground. Liptak smothered in the end. Micken, Dorotich, a hip and shoulder on him. Aythorne goes to ground. Good tackle by Schwert. Well battled by Lee. Footy still to be won. Aythorne in the end. Handball away to nobody. Brown and Klug. Klug's left foot round the body to nobody. Kernahan getting back. Takes a chest mark. Might have been out on the full. Give it to Kernahan. Why not? In the back pocket.
Well, incredibly, he's only missed 2 games since coming to Carlton in 1976, Kernahan, and picked up a couple of best and fairest. He's a true champion. Koutafidis finds Hannah under pressure. Hannah goes to Gleeson. Carlton setting something up here. They've got Cavidan. Over the back comes Welsh, who spoils his own man Cavidan. Daryl Hart having a good game down there in defence. Out wide to Marshall, who disposes of Bond. He's got some free players now with the left hand. He goes to Maynard. Maynard's got the skipper in McDermott. McDermott upfield will look for Murphy. But a good punch there from Dean. One of the unsung heroes here at Princess Park. Dean with the handball to Gleeson, who's getting plenty of possessions. That, in fact, is his 21st. And if there's any difference between that and deliberately handballing over the line, I'll go he, Bernie.
Agreed, because he had no option further upfield. He saw Marshall was covering that area, and that was deliberately out of bounds.
Throw in. Micken and Kernahan wrestling. Williams caught. It's been reasonably effective, but a bit quieter in this term. Now Marshall, big stack getter. Here's Dorotich, who's taken a lot of these after Micken's done the ruck work at centre wing. They should know, Adelaide, not to centre it because Dorotich is going to be there. Kernahan gave him the 1-2. Gleeson again, who's having a magnificent season. Left foot, Wren and Spalding. Maynard at the back. Hogg did it very well. Bradley was running for them on the side. Daryl Hart, who's had his best game for the season. Back, Micken got shoved out by Dorotich. A good contest. Now Hannah. Handball to Kernahan, playing a defensive role. The captain with a wobbly one. Wren, well played. G's got skill level. To McGuinness, to Jarman. It sits. Jarman runs around Hogg. Back to McGuinness. McGuinness has to take Aythorne on. Ingerson with a fly. Almost a grab. Brings down a couple of Carlton players with him. Alvin, very good kick under pressure. Gleeson was a target, and they'll be happy with that result, the Blue Boys, running it out of play.
Yes, good defence from Carlton. Thought there may have been a better result there with McGuinness streaming down forward. However, we see a boundary throw in. Mick in. McDermott was held, but no free kick. McGuinness once again gets it to Lee, who swings it to centre. Murphy at the back. No mark paid. And Dean throws a hand up, appealing for the free kick for holding the ball. Just lets the umpire know where he made that error of judgment.
Murphy almost taking that mark too, Jared.
Yes,
back on the ground. Murphy's only been back on for a couple of minutes.
Brian Shee puts the ball to ground. Ingerson over the back. Kernahan comes through.
Kernahan picks himself up, forward pocket. Ingerson does the ruck work. Did pretty well. Here's Gleeson. It's been terrific. Off the ground, the only option in the end. Schwert and Brown. Brown's been quiet, as Gerard said earlier. I'll play Gleeson. Terrific footy. Here's Wren. Bradley weaves a bit of magic. Again, the handle not spot on, but Julio able to go with it. Cavidan should get a free kick. Thought Smart was hanging on, and then he kicks the ball into the point post, and it'll be Adelaide's footy. Smart goes short. Bickley sits and waits, looks for an option, goes into the centre. Poor kick to Schwert. It took too long to get there. Well, running into one another, Welsh and Bradley. Williams' quick hands to Bradley. Gleeson, now he should goal. 45 metres out, doesn't make the distance. Tasker takes the mark, plays on to Smart, who will draw Koutafidis to him. Over the top to Ben Hart. I wonder if he knows he's got the athlete chasing him. The pressure will be on now. Oh, played Ben Hart under pressure, but kicks it out on the full.
Well, pretty optimistic, Bruce, going for a bounce there, Hart, with Koutafidis breathing down his neck. And in the end, the pressure just too much, kicking out of bounds on the full.
Bond to bring the ball back for Carlton. A very crucial stage of the game. And a big mark to one of the best men on the ground in Sean Wren.
8 marks to Sean Wren.
Handballs to McGuinness. Now, McGuinness switches play. There aren't too many options. He's got Jarman wide. Jarman is hotly pressed by Hogg.
The forward's not leading, Jared. The forward's not leading there. Micken gone out of the game at centre-half forward.
Ball now with Rowan Welsh. Welsh has got a loose man in Bradley, unattended by Hart. Just a little bit undisciplined there from Hart. He's had a very good game, but lost concentration. I think he was expecting to go past for a handball.
As you said, McGuinness coming out of the back line, streaming out of the back line, and as you called, there were no options further upfield. Mark Micken started the game pretty well, but Dorotich pretty well on top in that battle there between Micken and Dorotich. He's played pretty well this quarter. Dorotich got on top of Micken.
So Craig Bradley, he's an excellent shot at goal from a standing position, and he's put that one straight through. So Carlton lead, 12 goals 5, 77, a 12-point advantage over Adelaide, who are 9-11.
And that's Carlton's first goal for the quarter. There's that pass coming from Sexton. Very few options coming from the Adelaide half-forward line there. The pass to Welsh, and he found Bradley on the rebound in that forward pocket. Craig Bradley kicked Carlton's first goal for the third quarter.
Wren to Jarman to McDermott. Adelaide go forward, trailed by 2 goals. Alvin's tackle on lip tack was pretty good. Here's Athorn. Swings a handball to Bond at centre wing. Gets rid of Marshall on this occasion. High drop punt. Maynard, Welsh. Almost held it. Welsh did everything right except the final execution. Bickley with a good play to Ben Hart. Short to Micken, who has gone out of the game after a promising start. Sweeps the handball back to Hart. Hart with a moment to poise and go bang towards centre-half forward. Ingerson at the back. Sexton for the second time in a couple of minutes takes an important mark for the Blues.
Yes, he read it beautifully. He saw the danger there, Bruce, and came across and covered.
Sexton's high kick to centre wing. His opponent Micken's there. Couldn't take the mark. Gleeson's been magnificent. Williams back to Gleeson. Jarman had to hold him up. He was unable to. Bradley finding some form. Goes with a little one to Kernahan. Gee, again, a strange option by Bradley. Maybe again the execution incorrect and a behind.
I think the option was poor too, Bruce.
I agree completely.
Could have goaled
because
really.
He was only 40, 35 metres out and closing.
12-6, 9-11. Tasker to bang her back into the centre square.
Big punch from behind there from Welsh. At the bottom of the pack, Koutafidis comes up with it. Bradley round the corner. Goes to the centre of the ground. Carlton had 3 players that all looked at each other. Nobody went, but through comes Hogg. Hogg centres the ball. It's Kernahan versus Smart. Smart does well. But there he is, the swooper, Delulio. What a goal. Ron Delulio kicks Carlton further ahead with an 18-point advantage. In fact, it's 19 now. They lead 13-6, 84 to 9-11, 65.
We see that clever centering kick from Craig Bradley. If all options are covered and you're under pressure, it is always best to go for that centering kick because it creates so many options further upfield. And Diulio, 3 goals, has been very good on the forward line.
Well, Gerard Healy calls him the sweeper, and that's why. 84-65, 3 to Diulio. We said it was a critical time in the match, and Carlton have made the break. Williams to Hannah. High ball. Adelaide must stay firm now. Maynard at the back. Carlton can sniff for victory. Welsh on the up. Gleeson, what a game he's playing. Centering kick, Kernahan and Smart. Smart's been terrific. Hogg rows it, goes for goal, gives it a chance. It sits up and kicks it behind. 13-7 to 9-11.
All the momentum now with Carlton, Bruce. They're doing well. They've opened up this 20-point margin. 11 points the difference at half-time. Adelaide has been under extreme pressure since quarter time.
Daryl Hart banged to Nigel Smart. Just a good kick. McGuinness, he should swing it wide, and he does. Running for him is Maynard. Maynard from centre wing with a short one. Murphy, an important ball, unable to take it. Hangs on to Hannah, no free kick. Sexton, who's been good at the back. Wren trying to get back. Bradley well played over the back. Daryl Hart trying to get back. Welsh did it very well. Here's Diulio. A little gift to Cavidan. A left foot which is missed. It's out of play. Gerard, do you want to make a point?
Yes, I think Matthew Hogg is just starting to work off Andrew Jarman a little bit. Jarman's going to have to start working into defence, as Hogg has had a hand in the last 2 Carlton goals. Has been a good player for the Crows, Jarman. Doesn't want to let himself down with poor defence.
You can't do that. You must kick over the mark.
Well, he did bounce the ball, indicating that he tried to play on. I think that was the tactic there. Maybe the umpire didn't understand. Long kick from Smart. Over the back. There's a big fly from Welsh. Ben Hart flicks the ball to Swert. Swert gets it on to McDermott. McDermott's had a big battle with Gleeson. Probably Gleeson taking the honours at the moment. But both have got good possessions. Back to McGuinness from Lee. McGuinness goes long. This is where the Crows have broken down this quarter. And that's one of the reasons. John Dorotich. Dorotich finds Dean. Carlton's backline's holding firm. Williams, a little bit quiet this quarter. Handball hits the mark again. Delulio's kick poor, taken by Jarman. Jarman finds Micken. Micken's got a couple of runners and plenty of players free. He goes to Brown. Brown's got Lee wide on his own, and Lee should mark this one. But once again, Dorotich comes through. And the ball is trapped under plenty of players.
Well, Gerard, I thought there the option would have been Brown hand passing to Marshall, who was running past without an opponent anywhere near him. He took far too long, and Lee, by the time he kicked it to a stationary player, Lee wasn't on the lead. He was standing there waiting for it, and the Carlton defenders had plenty of time to get back there and defend.
Liptak conceding ground, but cleverly to Swert. Yes, Marshall on the run's always a good option. He can kick a goal. And Lee was smothered in the end, wasn't he, by Dorotich, who's been very good with Sexton in this quarter. Well, Schwert's going to have to kick a good ball here. He's going to kick from about 45, 46 metres out on the 50-yard line. Left foot, he's given a good ride right there. Hasn't quite made it, touched. A behind. 9-12 to 13-7. Stephen Schwert, the 24-year-old. It's 85-66. Dean goes wide and finds Hannah. Alvin running for him. Hannah's kick. Cavidan the target. Marshall outnumbered as far as height's concerned. Tries to get back with Jarman. Yes, I know it doesn't make sense, Gerard. There's Murphy to Wren. Wren sweeps one to Hart. Daryl Hart to McGuinness. Good skill by Adelaide under pressure to Lee. Lee, who's kicked 2 goals, has decided not to go on. He's going to go back. Wiedemann coming on.
Micken has been replaced, and obviously Graham Corns working out that everything wasn't going too well at centre-half forward for the Crows.
I think Murphy's the one that's been down for them today, Bernie.
Well, he spent a fair bit of time on the bench, Murphy. He came back on about 7 or 8 minutes ago, but he hasn't had a lot of touches.
Well, Lee with an important kick. He's kicked 2 goals, and Adelaide needs it. They've only managed 1 goal in this term. Their defence has held up well, but they haven't scored enough. Lee leans back, drop punt, good-looking kick. It's a goal. 3 goals for Lee, and Adelaide refuses to lie down at 10-12 to 13-7.
Well, Adelaide in a similar position last week against Hawthorn. They were trailing at one stage in the last quarter against Hawthorn by 18 points, and yet they're able to get up and win that match. So you would never write Adelaide off. There's still a bit of a chance, a big chance in fact, if they can get things functioning on the forward line, across that half-forward line especially, they can give Carlton a real fright.
Well, it's the classic Indian arm wrestle here at Princess Park. Carlton had domination earlier in the quarter. The Crows have struck back, but through comes Hogg, getting away from Jarman. Important ball out of the middle. Spalding has two options. This time he goes to Koutafidis.
Free kick, Jared.
And it was legged by Tasker. With only 13 seconds remaining in the quarter, this could prove to be a match-winning goal if Koutafidis can come through and kick his second goal for Carlton in his career.
Well, that's all Tasker could really do. Koutafidis was only 15 metres out.
So the 19-year-old to go for his second goal and his first senior match for the Blues. Drop punt, he's given it a hook, missed it. Well, what a let-off. A significant miss after the siren at three-quarter time. Carlton still with a good edge. It's 86-72, but Adelaide is far from buried now. It's 13-8 to 10-12. Well, we've got a big game here at 13-8 to 10-12, 86-72, final term. A lot at stake for the two clubs. The bounce favouring Wren. He really should have grabbed it, I thought, out of the air. Caviden's kicked the centre half forward. An early goal could be decisive for either team. Kernahan, who's been well held, misses Gleeson. Gleeson's been Carlton's best player, I reckon. Goes back onto his left foot, goes across the ground, and Marshall takes the mark in the defensive zone.
A great player today, Marshall. 7 marks, coming in for his 19th kick. He's had 6 hand passes also.
Drops and stops for a moment, called to play on. A drop punt, a high one. Ingerson, who's playing out from full forward, a terrific grab.
Centre half forward now, Ingerson.
10 marks, Bernie.
Ben Hart now playing up at full forward.
Ingerson goes for Murphy. Good sprawl at the back though by Dean. High tackle there on Brown, no free kick. Wiedemann couldn't do it. Koutafidis did it well. Brown held up, little kick round the body. Here's Koutafidis taking off with those long strides. Wiedemann to try and run him down out on the full.
There we saw a good shot of the face of young Koutafidis. Has shown plenty of promise today. Bickley with the ball. He's brought the ground by Rondolulio. Towards centre half forward, it's Dorotich and Ingerson. At the back of the pack is Bond. Bond attempts a handball but prefers the kick. Bradley versus Hart. Good knock on from Bradley. It travels the distance of a good kick. Kernahan versus Smart. Kernahan's got Delulio in assistance. Tasker handballs the ball straight to Cavenden, and Cavenden looks at the goals, but he's pulled it just slightly left. And only a point the result. Could have been a vital goal, Bernie.
Almost a miracle goal there by Cavenden. And of course, Carlton preferring him with his mobility to big Justin Madden.
Daryl Hart chips a kick out to Wiedemann. Looks like a Viking and swings onto his left foot. That is an enormous kick to centre half forward, looking for Ingerson. Could have been paid the mark. The umpire had the whistle in his hand but said, we'll go on with it. Milan Hanna takes on Lee for pace, has one bounce, goes wide. He's got Bond. It kicks it over his head. And that allows Maynard to come through, but the handball is smothered. Goes to Hogg, who finds Gleeson. Gleeson pops the ball forward, and a good pass to Welsh.
And that'll be 50,
umpire runs in with a 50-metre well-called Bernie.
That was a very important touch by Bond further back. And a couple of his teammates really giving him a couple of pats on the back. Hogg and Gleeson just shepherded that, just got that little touch to the hand pass coming from Maynard. There's that push out.
Was it 50?
A little bit soft in the end, wasn't it, Jared, for that 50 metres? I was really having a look at the play further back field there by Bond. Very important touch.
Walsh for his third goal this afternoon. And it's home.
Well, it's Carlton by 21 points. Still 22 minutes remaining on the clock, but they're doing all the attacking. Start of this final quarter. And we see that long hand pass coming from Matthew Hogg, who's been a good player for Carlton, and maybe a little bit of play acting there from Rowan Welsh, just making sure that the umpire saw that slight push.
93-72. Welsh with 3 goals. And on replay, Tasker just giving him a touch and Welsh making a meal of it. But
it's the problem with the 50-metre penalty, Bruce.
Wren versus Caverton. Wren wins the tap. Alvin. McGuinness tried to snare it. Jarman well played to Schwert. Schwert to go for goal. Murphy in the front spot. Dean with him. A ball to be won on the ground, and it'll be a ball up. Well, Adelaide needs the next goal. There's no question about that. They trail by 21 points. Must maintain some pressure. They've been good enough all day. The Blues just their noses in front in the second half. Ingerson won the tap. Athorn's handball. Greg Williams, who's been running with McGuinness in the second or the last 3 quarters. McGuinness, was that touched or has gone straight out of bounds on the full? So a free kick against Adelaide to go to Alvin. And the Blues at 14, well now Gleeson, 14-9 to 10-12.
Well, both Gleeson and McDermott had 10 possessions each in the 3rd quarter, and they're playing against each other.
Good grab by Caverton. It's rare for Wren to be outmarked, and he was on that occasion. Caverton, Spalding the target, Maynard. Spalding well done to tap it into the path of Bradley. To Hogg. Hogg on the left foot. Marshall free kick or mark, take it, or not paid either. Whew. Back towards the centre. Here's Hogg. Jarman with him. Hogg sweeps a handball. Gleeson tried it with one hand. Wiedemann didn't hold him up. Bradley tried to tap it onto Gleeson. Darryl Hart almost threw it in the end. Marshall's quick hands. Tasker to Bickley. Well played. Adelaide to Maynard.
And Maynard has got plenty of space. He's kicked it wide. He's looking for an option, but once again a poor option. And he finds Dorotich as if he kicked it straight to him. He was looking for Ben Hart, but there wasn't enough carry on the kick. Dorotich once again repels a Crow attack. McGuinness and Koutafidis. McGuinness doing well. Round the corner with the right foot. Finds Liptak. Liptak possibly needs a bit of a lift. Marshall to Scott Lee. He's an excellent shot of goal if he can get within range. The Crows with 2 loose players, but Lee once again a poor handball.
Well, they really messed that up, Jared. There were a couple of players there, a couple of Crows players running free. One was Ben Hart in the pocket, and really that was the option. Had he just chipped that one over, he could have been home and hosed.
Well, the Crows need a goal. They need one quickly. Athorn overruns it. Ingerson with a tap. Comes to Elvin. Elvin round the corner. Bradley. And Hart. The free kick's been paid to Bradley. It was intelligent play. He knew he was going to be hard pressed, and he just tapped the ball, didn't take possession. Ended up drawing the free kick. Slipped in the mud. Jarman is spoiled by his own player in Wren. And Koutafidis keeps the ball in front of him. Williams takes one high. The umpire says play on. Wiedemann with the left foot drives it long. He's looking for Ben Hart.
Underneath it with Sexton. Liptak, Alvin with him. Dean committed with a good hip and shoulder. Alvin deliberately out of play. But it would be a tough call against him at that point. McDermott was very good a moment ago in the crunch to get it to Wiedemann. It's been a terrific contest. Ingerson and Dorotich. Ingerson, Lee, who's kicked 3 but made a couple of bad errors. Liptak fell over. Here's Schwert. Takes on Brown. Sizes up the situation, and Brown, that's now Ben Hart. Under pressure, and not a good kick. And out of bounds on the full. So, again, Adelaide's had some chances, haven't they?
Yeah, it's just good pressure applied, though, there on that occasion by Mil Hanna. Just getting a touch to Ben Hart. Not usually a forward, but he has kicked 3 goals in 1 match for the Crows this season.
Peter Dean drives the ball long, and once again Koutafidis shows what talent he possesses. He looks an exciting prospect.
Yeah, he looks a good player, Koutafidis. He's got plenty of pace and can take a grab.
He kicks it to another youngster that Carlton have got, but too slow, Caverton. Jarman should have applied better tackling skills there, but wins the ball anyhow. Good turnover here from the Crows. They should have loose men, and here's one in Hart. Excellent kick there from McDermott. Hart goes to play on, but thinks twice about it. He's got the short now. McDermott will probably try to centre this ball to open up the goals.
He must fancy his chances of kicking the goal, Jared, because he's taking a long time. In these sort of circumstances, you would expect the player to move the ball on as quickly as possible.
Oh, that was excellent play. They opened up the space. McGuinness went down. He was always going to be too quick for Williams. There's a great tactical ploy there from the Crows. And now McGuinness with the ball in the hands.
He's not much closer in, Gerard, though.
No, but he's on his left foot, Bernie, and
Much
only
better
45 metres. He's actually one of the best shots at goal in the AFL, this man. I'm going to back him to put this one straight through and open this game right up. So it's McGuinness. Left foot, it's a long ball. And it's a great shot at goal. So Tony McGuinness kicks his first goal. He's moved Adelaide on to 11 goals, 12-78. They're trailing Carlton 14-9, 93.
Yes, it was a great kick from Tony McGuinness. It's only his third game back after an appendix operation. He did play 109 games with Footscray, a very experienced player. Maybe McDermott just holding up that play, waiting for the options, did the right thing, spotting Tony McGuinness.
93-78. McGuinness with his first goal after McDermott and the tactical ploy able to get it to him. Free kick to the captain again.
Starting to win the ball out of the middle too, the Crows, Bruce, and that's very important with Wren with his height. A big advantage up against Cavan at the centre square.
To half forward, Hart underneath it. Good mark taken at the back by Sexton. Adelaide has won a couple of tight games at Princes Park, one against Melbourne and one last year against Carlton. Dorotich very wide, but and out of bounds on the fall. If Adelaide gets the next goal, Bernie, you'd give them a real chance here.
They're right in it if they get the next one, Bruce. Of course, as we said earlier, 18 points down in the last quarter last week against Hawthorn, and yet able to get back and win that match.
They certainly believe in one another. Ingerson with a big stretch, unable to take it. Free kick paid to him this time.
Yeah, that's been a good move from Graham Corns, putting Ingerson at centre half forward. He was getting nothing out of Mark Micken, last year's best and fairest winner.
I think Dorotich was a bit lucky not to have 50 against him then.
Yeah, it looked like it smacked to the chops there.
Sure was, and I think Brian Sheehan saw it, ran in and told him off, but didn't give 50. Ingerson goes towards the goal square. Spalding's back there. Murphy in the front spot. Schwertz sits and waits. Rides a bump cleverly. Probably should have had a snap. Gives it to Murphy, who misses. Behind. 11-13, 14-9. Getting tight at Princes Park. It's dark, it's cold, but it's exciting. It's 93-79.
And Bernie, how much do you want for those gloves?
I could name my price at this stage.
Yes, he's commentating this match with Tony Campbell gloves on his Bernie Quinlan.
Hannah. Well, this is an exciting game. It's going to go down to the wire. Kernahan. Carlton have got all their big guns up on the ball. Excellent handball finds Bradley. Bradley goes with a spurt. Has a bounce. Looks forward. He finds Kavanagh. Good mark and a great kick from Bradley.
There's Kavanagh now in the forward line. Murphy off the ground for the Crows. You see Kavanagh playing at full forward on Nigel Smart. And Kernahan has had a pretty quiet afternoon on the forward line now doing the ruck work. John Klug on for the Crows.
So Kavanagh from 50 metres kicks it well, but it's drifting to the left of the goals. Kernahan with a fly. Has it come off a Carlton boot? It's touched and only a behind. So the Blues fans went up in anticipation. They were disappointed. I'm sure the Adelaide viewers were very pleased with the result. It's 94-79. Darryl Hart brings the ball back. They've done it well at the kick into the Crows. They're getting away from Carlton, who don't mind conceding that kick, the short kick out to the boundary line. But it's the second kick that is the important one. Now, there's been a free kick paid here.
I think the player's run out of bounds, Gerard, and so he'll bring it back for a boundary throw-in in that Carlton's left forward pocket.
Well, another inexperienced mistake from one of the younger players from the Crows. Wren to Hart. Been impressed with Hart's game, as with Jarman's. Ball just trickles over the boundary line. So the Blues are blocking it up here on the half forward line, not allowing the Crows to sweep the ball out. Wren from behind. Knock on there, and Wiedemann with the left foot. He's got Brown and Athorn. Liptak and Alvin. They've been side by side all day. It's been one of the battles of the afternoon, Liptak and Alvin. Been quite an probably even money duel.
Wren and Kernahan. Kernahan back on the ball. He has rucked well today. Just wins that. Now Wren, who's been again in a starring role. Alvin and Liptak, who the two in question a moment ago with Gerard, and out of play. Stalemate for the moment, as it was in the third quarter. Carlton broke loose then with 2 goals in a couple of minutes. That's what Adelaide needs to do here to close up the game. The Blues with a handy break in a tight match. Darryl Hart, high right foot around the body. Ingerson and Dorotich. Oh, good mark to Dorotich.
He's been excellent, hasn't he, Bruce, across half-back. 9th mark for John Dorotich.
Kernahan his target. Doesn't let him down, the captain from half-back. Wren must be tired. He's rucked all day and covered a ton of ground. Spalding in the front. Carlton's height showing on 2 occasions there. Spalding's kick not so good. Tasker, Smart makes a mistake. Caverton out of play. A blue goal here would be the crunch. It would be the end for the Crows. They wouldn't be able to get back from that position. Trailing at the moment by 15 points.
Crows must sweep this one away. Caverton. Over the back is Wren. Hits it to the defensive side, as most clubs do from boundary throw-ins. Good play there from Maynard. Finds McGuinness, who can go for a run. He should come back onto his left and go up the middle of the ground. He's got Jarman. Jarman will do something with this, but there's a free kick behind.
It's against Wiedemann. Foolish play by Wiedemann, because the Adelaide Crows were away and running. All he had to do was provide a legitimate shepherd, and the ball was down in Adelaide's forward line.
Hogg kicks the ball long. He's got Walsh. And a fine mark from Walsh, and we know he can kick the ball a long way, as we saw earlier in the game. So this could be the death knell for the Crows. And how costly was that shepherd from Wiedemann?
Well, they were away and running, weren't they, the Crows? And there's Rowan Welsh, a very promising prospect for Carlton. 84 goals last year in the VFA. Caverton off for Carlton, and Parker back on the ground. He should make the distance quite easily from here. Rowan Welsh.
From 45 metres, as Bernie said, he'll make the distance. The ball bends back. It's home. Four goals to Rowan Welsh. In a fine display up forward. And Carlton now lead 15-10-100. 21 points in front of Adelaide. 11-13-79.
There's a kicking style of Rowan Welsh. He's kicked 2 goals in this final term, 4 goals for the match. And that could be the sealer as far as Carlton is concerned. Rowan Welsh, very good on the forward line.
Blues with a century up, lead by 21 points. Wren missed by Wiedemann. Marshall. McDermott trying his heart out. McGuinness, the handball skills still there. Schwert to Marshall. A centering kick. Dorotich going back against the flow. Showed some courage. Lee for his 4th goal. Rolling, and a behind.
Yes, that was great courage, John Dorotich, going back with the flight of the ball. He's held up the Adelaide Crows on a number of occasions at centre-half back, especially in that third quarter, Bruce, when they looked a little bit dangerous at times.
No question, he's played his best football under David Parkin. Williams to Aythorne. Left foot, Spalding. Big stretch, free kick to Spalding. Against Maynard or Wren. Wren in a bit of pain there, the young fellow. 4 of the big men going for that. Wren having trouble picking himself up. Here's Hogg. Goes bang with a high one and gives Welsh a big chance. It was a good kick. You saw Welsh was at the back, and Welsh has kicked the 2 goals in this quarter as Wren finally gets to his feet. He's absolutely exhausted and injured, but the Hogg option was a good one, Bernie.
Yes, especially Rowan Welsh going to the player who's capable of kicking a good distance and kicking accurately as well. A proven goal kicker.
He's kicked 4 goals. Both Carlton's goals in this final term, and this to put the absolute sealer, you'd think, with 10 minutes remaining. Drop punt, pushed it at the end, a behind. The Blues 15-11. Adelaide still hanging in at 11-14, but it's a big margin in the context of this game.
He's an outstanding prospect, Welsh. He, of course, was recruited from Dandenong after a stint with Essendon under-19s.
The time is nigh for the Crows. They must do something now. DeLulio, good tackle from Smart, who slings him to the ground, but fortuitously the ball comes to Bradley, and an excellent chip kick. Great vision. Finds Gleeson.
things going Carlton's way at the moment. Craig Bradley, who's been pretty quiet throughout the afternoon, only had one touch in that first quarter. That was his 11th kick. He's had 9 handballs as well, but clever centering kick, giving Gleeson this opportunity.
Well, he's not a great shot at goal, Gleeson. He's kicked 7 this year. This is a vital one. Doesn't hit it terrifically well. Oh, and nearly a big mark to Walsh.
He's wobbled that one off the boot, didn't he?
Yes, he
really
didn't strike it at all well.
Didn't strike it at all.
Tasco to bring the ball back in for the Crows. They need a knock on. Wren gets it to McDonald. Gets it
Marshall.
there to Marshall. Kernahan. Just a chip kick. And it seems as if Carlton now are just trying to hold the play up. They've got a significant enough lead in 22 points. And really now it's up to the Crows to make the play. Kernahan takes the ball in 2 hands. Knock on there.
He really did pull the kick there, Williams. He realised the danger. He held his kick back. That wasn't kicking in danger.
Daryl Hart short to Bickley. To Wiedemann, who gets a Bronx cheer. Now Maynard. Ben Hart on a long lead. Sexton with him. Hart with a stretch. Sexton at the back. Dean did very well. Held up cleverly though by Ben Hart, whose little kick gives himself a chance. Dorotic over the top. Now Brown, and run down by Sexton legitimately and out of play.
He's been good, Sexton too, for Carlton.
Yes, they've really tightened up. Adelaide's only kicked 3 goals since half-time. David Brown started very well, but has had some quiet moments since. Ingerson and Dorotic. Now Gleeson, who's had 26 kicks today. But you've read it well a moment ago, Jared, saying he's not the best shot for goal.
A lot of possessions there for Gleeson. 26 kicks and 7 hand passes.
And 10 of those possessions in the 3rd quarter when McDermott had the same. Here's Williams. Bit hard the handball for Hogg, who was stationary. Left foot to Ulio over Wren's head. Kernahan, Delulio will run with him. Kernahan sweeps it to Spalding, who was injured a moment ago, and Big Earl goes bang and puts it through. His 2nd goal, and the Blues have charged away now, and they lead by 16-12 to 11-14.
Yes, well, it's all over now for Adelaide. If there was any chance before this, there's none now, because we're coming up to the 22-minute mark. 7 minutes and 5 seconds actually remaining on the clock. And Carlton with a 28-point advantage. Earl Spalding kicking his 2nd goal. It's been all Carlton this last quarter.
Yes, and that goal coming initially from a Williams handball, a speedy one out in the back flank. McDermott, terrific handball from the base of the pack. McGuinness around the corner. Ben Hart in pursuit, but he's bustled out of it by Hannah. Hannah tries to break the tackle, but Swert drags him back. It comes to Elvin. Brown onto Gleeson. Gleeson, who has accumulated many possessions, goes long, but Welsh couldn't take the mark. Swert, the base of the pack. Koutafidis, the young player in his first game for Carlton. Swert once again, who's been good for the Crows all day. Koutafidis can't take control, but Brown can. He gives it to Liptak. Liptak goes forward. That's where the Crows have broken down all day. In comes Bond. Runs into a brick wall. Bond off the ground. Marshall in pursuit. And into the back goes Kernahan. It must be a free kick to Marshall.
Sean Wren off for the Adelaide Crows, and Micken back on the ground. Wren limping rather badly. He copped one in the thigh earlier on, and he's just been replaced.
The Carlton skipper wasn't happy, but it was no doubt a free kick. Ingerson drops the mark. Liptak at the base of the pack. He's got Brown on now on his left foot. Brown chips the ball to the base of the square, and a push out from Klug. But before that, there's a holding decision against Dean on Hart, and Ben Hart will shoot from only 4 yards out and should convert. So perhaps this game's not over. There's 5.5 minutes to play. The margin now is 22 points.
Well, I think Jared, you'd have to be pretty optimistic thinking they could get back into this match. The Adelaide Crows at this stage are not Not much time left on the clock, 5¼ minutes. In fact, Ben Hart kicks his first goal after being moved to the forward line in this last quarter. But the goals have been few and far between for Adelaide. They've struggled to get the ball into that forward line, and when they have, they've been covered on most occasions.
It's really only been a couple of 5-minute passages, one in the third quarter and one in the fourth quarter early, that have been the difference between the two sides.
108 to 86, 22-point margin. Kernahan wins the tap. Marshall unable to take it away. DeUlio over the top. Parker getting back. Tasker to the safety of the boundary line, out of play.
Carlton has picked up some two very good ex-VFA players in DeUlio and Rowan Welsh, both exciting prospects. DeUlio very pacey on that forward line, and Welsh can take a mark and certainly can kick the ball long distances.
Kernahan over the top to DeUlio. Now Bickley. Scott Lee now playing on the back line. Bond over the top of him. Dorotich and Ingerson. Dorotich, well, he could have done better in the end. Marshall, Liptak, slow handball, Ingerson and Bond. Bond goes to ground. Schwert started brilliantly. Inside to McDermott. Adelaide refusing to give this away. McDermott to the goals. Klug used his body, will kick a goal. Left foot, it'll roll and go through. Klug gets one. 13-14 to 16-12. Well, surely not Perney. 108 to 92.
Johnny Klug's first goal. They didn't lie down last week against Hawthorn, and look at this, it's the best leg break since Richie Beno was bowling at the MCG. A wonderful turn there. Johnny Klug spent a fair bit of time on the bench. He's come back into the Adelaide side after some knee problems. Probably lacking a little bit of match fitness.
Well, it's now or never for the Crows. They've got to get this one out of the centre. It's favouring Carlton. Through Bond. Bond has a bounce, touches the ball to the ground and gives it to Williams. Williams gives it to his favourite player in Kernahan and drives it long, but just to the left of the goal post for a behind. Could have finished the game there, Kernahan, with just over 3 minutes to play. The Crows really do need to sweep it down and get a quick score. Tasker. He goes long. That's the only option they've got. McDermott went for the fly. Wiedemann, who gave away a crucial free kick earlier in the quarter. Bickley to McGuinness. Back to Wiedemann. Will be the left foot. A chip kick finds McDermott. McDermott to McGuinness. Both ex-Glenelg players. McGuinness on his right foot. Bangs the ball to centre half forward. The Dorotich is waiting. Brown at the base of the pack. It was slung when he kicked. And the ball results in going over the boundary line. They do need a quick goal.
Well, Adelaide's pulled it back from 28 points to 17. 3 minutes remaining. Dean over the back and out of play.
That'll do, Bruce. Good defensive tactics there from Peter Dean. That left elbow heavily strapped after dislocating it. He missed 3 matches with that injury. And a really solid defender for the Carlton side.
Dorotich. Sexton was at the back with Ben Hart, missed by Gleeson. Klug and Dean. Dean straight to Ben Hart, who dropped it in a hurry. Sexton squeezed. Oh, Williams well played. Second time today he's done that. He's a gem, isn't he?
He's just held McGuinness out. Held McGuinness out with the forearm. And look at those powerful wrists and forearms he has. And just trapped it with the right hand.
Well, if Kernahan's his favourite player, I'm sure there's a lot in the AFL that rank this man as their favourite. The kick, Marshall underneath it. Kernahan coming in late. Marshall takes the mark and free kick. 2 minutes remaining. Adelaide running out of time. They've been courageous. They've put on a terrific contest, but Carlton are going to hang on and win this one. Dorotich giving it away. Alvin, Williams on top. And I think Greg wants to be part of the action in the last 2 or 3 minutes when it's tight. And it'll again be Brian Sheehan. So 109 to 92, just under 2 minutes remaining.
Well, the Crows have got Essendon, Sydney and Footscray in the next 3 weeks, so they're still not out of it. In the race to the finals, Hannah drives the ball long. Big punch from behind from Tasker, and he delivers one behind play. DeUlio, the sweeper, goes in and gives them the death knell. That's the end of the game. DeUlio kicks his fourth, and Carlton leads 17-13 to Adelaide, 13-14.
There's 4 goals to DiIulio, 4 goals to Rowan Welsh, the 2 former VFA players. And we see the pace of Ron DiIulio. He is an exciting prospect. In replay there, Rowan Welsh in front. And look at DiIulio, he was off balance, he had to gather the ball, turn around, and he still had enough pace to get away from Wiedemann.
23-point margin with a minute remaining. Jarman on the bottom of the pack. Handball out. Brown, you think scores will level the way these two teams are still going at it. To Aythorne. Can the Blues really finish it off in style? To centre half foot, or smart, a good mark at the back. Terrific grab. He's played very well on Kernahan in the first 3 quarters today. McGuinness short, finds Micken. So the Blues safe, but Adelaide have been meritorious today. Now McDermott, 50 seconds remaining. Drop punt. Darryl Hart on the lead. Hannah with him. Ingerson has Schwert inside. Now goes to Schwert. Schwert tucked away in the pocket, goes for goal across the face. Dean getting back. Liptak leading Dean into it. Dean puts the pressure on and out of play. Well played, Peter Dean.
Yes, he's a grand defender for Carlton, Peter Dean. Under 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
Ingerson and Dorotich. Can Adelaide get a final goal? Dean again over the top. Defence on his mind. Marshall after it was missed by Bond. Here's Gleeson. Koutafidis. Williams. Bradley in the dying seconds. Quick give back to Koutafidis. And it's significant in a way that he gets the last touch today. And the Blues win by 23 points. 17-13, 115 to Adelaide 13-14, 92.